Hi everybody, welcome to the stream. Hope you guys having a good day today, tomorrow. My name's Marlon, and this is episode 45 of Mushroom City in Minecraft. Now, what's going on right now? Okay, so before I would get to the weather and even to Minecraft, just want to say that the latest update on what's going on right now is that I'm actually going to be staying home throughout much of the weekend because apparently I got a call from the people who are about to pick up my bro's car, and well, that's going to happen at 11 p.m. So that means that well, it's too late for me to go to upstate just for me to get myself a new car, and I'll have to postpone that till next weekend. But what can I say, folks? So much unpredictability that's been going on this week, and I was expecting that, but was caught off guard with the way that it was. Well, the way that they called me. So that means that I gotta get ready and be able to find the right car for me. Hold on just a moment, folks. I think I can hear background music right now. Nah, never mind. Hold on, let me get something real quick. Alright. Okay, so now let's talk about the weather. So let's get to it. I know the stream's supposed to start at 6 o'clock, but then I ended up getting sidetracked. Had to buy a cake for my birthday, though. I mean, I did get the money. But hey, Echo Moth, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day today. For me, give me Huggy. Okay, hugs it is. You got one? And now... So how you been, Echo Moth? How was your day today? Looking forward to the weekend? For me, well, normally I was planning on not streaming today, but the thing was that I had to postpone my plans on getting a new car because, well, for one thing, I have a excessive heat warning that's going to happen sometime around this weekend and next week, so that's going to be an issue. But anyway, I could find better deals next weekend to get myself a new car. Come here. Hug. Okay. So what are we doing right now? So we're looking at what's going on right now. 198 active weather alerts. There are 6 severe thunderstorm warnings in Montana and Florida. 8 special weather statements in Florida, Nebraska, Colorado, Alabama. And 7 flash flood warnings, but all of them are in Canada. Nice. But what, Echo Moth? There are 2 winter storm warnings. So one is located in Glacier National Park. Well, this is something that's interesting because today it is summer solstice. Or rather, tonight is summer solstice. Did I hear birthday? Yes, you did. Yeah, you did. It's mine, and it's tomorrow, the 21st. So I'm going to be spending a good amount of the weekend streaming, and also eating a bunch of birthday foods and cake, which I bought, but hope I'm having a good one, even though a lot of people I know are away from home, but they'll definitely call. And you did even tell me before Yeah, I didn't know if you were paying attention on my IG, Echo Moth. But I think I've said that in the previous stream, maybe not. But I'm so sorry that I caught you by surprise. But I'm actually going to turn 31 tomorrow. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Okay, so uh, so right now let's just focus on the weather. So there is one winter storm warning in Glacial National Park, and the second one there. So there are two winter storm warnings in Glacier National Park in Montana, northwestern Montana. It's cold enough, and the conditions are ripe for worst weather conditions. Damn, me ancient weather is gonna vanish at the rate you getting old. Oh yeah, Ekamoth, since you're into cold weather, how would you like a trip to northwest Montana at Glacier National Park? Because for some reason at that time of year, that's well, normally there's not supposed to be any winter weather, given this is meteorological summer right now, but it's so cold enough that it's happening right now. Let's see what we got. So we got 49 non-precipitation warnings. 18 of them are high wind warnings. 19 are extreme heat warnings. 3 dense fog advisories, and 9 air quality alerts. 76 flash flood warnings, and 50 red flag warnings. Wow, this is significant. Alright, so let's see what we got. So let's start off in the Northeast. Yeah, I'm going to turn 31 next year for sure. And it won't happen until 11:17 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Get pets for early birthday gift. I will give you birth gift tomorrow. Well, it's really nice. I mean, although my apartment doesn't accept pets, they have they have a strict no pets policy, in this apartment. But although it would be nice though. Let's see what's going on with the radar. So for the past 3 hours, there's been showers that are passing by through Maine and through northern Vermont and northern New Hampshire, and as well as some scattered showers and thunderstorms in places like the Finger Lakes region, western New York, western half of Pennsylvania, and just a little bit in West Virginia too, and just a little bit in Virginia too. Hell yeah, cold weather. I'm petting you. Yeah, better watch out, because sometimes I bite, Echo Moth. I'm like, what it look. So elsewhere throughout the Northeast, particularly in places like the greater New York City area, we have some dry conditions going up the Hudson River. The rest of New England, the Jersey Shore, the Delmarva Peninsula, and parts of Virginia on the eastern side. Let's go down south. Let me see. Well, there is a flood warning in one part of upstate New York. Then we go down south towards the Carolinas, where there are pop-up showers and thunderstorms located in the Carolina coast right now. So that's terrifying. I bite back. I have little sharp teeth. Oof, boy. You're not making this easy. So you be careful. Oh, right. I will. But sometimes I'm a little picky when it comes to me eating. Just to, bite the ones that I like. As in like, if they're bad actors, But if they're good actors, I leave them alone, Let's see what we got. We got a flood warning just right between Myrtle Beach and Charleston, Georgia, one flood warning there, but nothing much is going on in Georgia for the past 3 hours. There are plenty of thunderstorms in the peninsula part of Florida, and even just a little bit near Pensacola, Florida, and Apalachicola, and anywhere west of Tallahassee. There are two special weather statements there. Two severe thunderstorm warnings in the Big Bend area, near Gainesville, near Ocala. Yeah, it's typical in Florida, to get daytime thunderstorms during the summer, because you have two two sea breezes that collide coming from the Gulf and from the Atlantic that form daytime thunderstorms. And it typically happens during those times of year. In Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, well, they're getting some thunderstorms going right now. Places like Tupelo, Grenada, Columbus, Tuscaloosa, and even Birmingham, Alabama. And some of them have made its way towards Montgomery, especially Mobile, Gulfport. See, you could bite me all you want as long as I have me 3 naps of the day in peace. Okay, yay, thunder. Yeah, it would be nice if there would be thunder snow, but you don't get that often. That's if you have a very strong updraft and a large amount of moisture, and the amount of especially with so many differences, rather the right conditions just for electrification to occur. But in the winter storms you don't get that often. But if it gets with the severe, but if the winter weather does get strong enough, then yeah, that there are some thunder snow. All right, so elsewhere, let's see. Arkansas, you have thunderstorms in the central part of the state. Louisiana, didn't mean to do that. Louisiana, some pop-up thunderstorms are coming from the Gulf, heading northward though, but in pockets though. Alabama, they get two special weather statements, meaning that there are strong thunderstorms there. Arkansas and Louisiana, eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, and even southern Kansas, they're getting flood warnings right now. It's Little Rock. Yeah, Little Rock, Arkansas, the capital of the state. See what we got in Texas. So Texas, throughout the Gulf region, there are pop-up thunderstorms that are moving inland right now, and there's also a bunch of storms that are located in the Rio Grande on western Texas. But elsewhere throughout the Lone Star State, it's quite dry though. Oklahoma, just nothing but dry weather there. Let's see, Kentucky, well, you're not seeing much in Kentucky, except for some flood warnings there. I mean, it happens whenever you get flooding along riverbanks. It's a little rock called Pebble, and that should be named Pebble. yeah, let's see if that could be a thing for people over there. Let's see what we got. Okay, so southwestern Ohio, they are dealing with air quality alerts, so this is quite awful in that situation there. Flood warnings in western Kentucky, southern and western Indiana. There are some showers and some storms passing through northern Ohio, making its way. Hold on just a Alright, I'm back. Very shitty. Yeah, it is very shitty music. Not something... They're still playing? Yeah, I think at that point I might as well just talk over. Anyway, there are thunderstorms rolling through northern Ohio and eastern Ohio. They're coming from Michigan. Uh, they got some spotty thunder showers and a few thunderstorms there. Indiana, they do have some. They used to have some showers and a few storms coming from Illinois, but however, that seems to fade away just a bit slowly in the past 3 hours. All right, so sorry about that. Now that they're gone for good. Okay, so Indiana and Illinois are currently dry. They used to have some wet weather there. Michigan, can I throw a rock at bitches with music passing? Yeah, yeah, that could work. You could be my guest in doing that. Yeah, Echo Moth. All right, so it's pretty clear in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Wisconsin. They're dealing with lines of spotty showers and storms coming from Minnesota. It's been going through Minneapolis and northern Minnesota, yet it started to dissipate crossing the Mississippi, entering the Badger State in Wisconsin. And we go down towards Iowa and in Missouri. Well, they're mostly dry, just a little bit of clouds in the northeastern corner of the state. Kansas and Nebraska, they're getting some pop-up thunderstorms right now, and some of them may be strong enough to cause some damaging winds and small hail there. Oh yeah, in eastern Nebraska, southeastern South Dakota, western Iowa, southern Minnesota, and northwestern Wisconsin. Those places are under extreme heat warnings, so temperatures are soaring into the 90s and triple digits. Oh yeah, and that includes southeastern Wisconsin, Chicago, and even St. Louis. So this is very bad, for those people who have underlying health conditions. Let's take a look in the Dakotas. They're getting some thunderstorms going. Some of them may be severe, and they're entering through the Dakotas. And for what it looks like, North Dakota may get some severe thunderstorms to occur in the western part of the state. South Dakota, much of it is clear, but that's not going to last for too long, because just a little bit is about to go through the northwestern corner of the state. Let's go to Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. So what are we dealing with? We got plenty of severe thunderstorm warnings throughout many parts of Montana. But, however, this is a surprising one, because you have a winter storm warning here and a severe thunderstorm. Well, no, wait, this is a high wind warning. Because, the colors are quite different. A severe thunderstorm warnings there. So that means that there's a huge contrast in very hot temperatures, and especially cold temperatures, like freezing ones. You get this high wind warning, and it's blowing really fast. It's crazy. What's going on right now in Idaho? Well, Idaho, they're getting some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms in a few areas in the central part of the state. Wyoming, they're getting pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the northwestern corner of the state, moving towards the northeast right now. And there is a red flag warning in the southern part of the state, and as well as a high wind warning, so that's going to be really bad. And in southeastern Colorado, you're getting some passing some showers and thunderstorms, especially New Mexico. despite the fact that there are red flag warnings there. I mean, red flag warnings mean that conditions are right for wildfires. They don't mean that it'll cause wildfires. You gotta get something to cause wildfires. Like, for example, some idiot would just put out a cigarette on the ground and then just let the whole place burn to the ground. You get one strong special weather statement, which could mean thunderstorms, hail, and damaging winds. There are also some red flag warnings throughout Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, California. And what do we got here? We got air quality alerts in southwestern New Mexico, as well as south central California. But Arizona, Utah, and even Nevada, it's quite dry. California, it's dry with the exception of the northern edge of California. They're getting plenty of showers and a few thunderstorms coming from the Pacific, causing plenty of wet weather there. And it's about to enter through the Cascades region. But on the other side of the Cascades, like on the leeward side, they're growing some thunderstorms and showers on the eastern side. So basically, there are no exceptions to either side of the Cascades Mountains, going into Idaho and Montana. All right, now before we can get into Minecraft, I know I've already talked a lot throughout the first part of the stream, but let's just say that we got a lot to talk about. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to our next scene right now, to right around here. Hold on a minute. Why isn't it showing up? Okay, there we go. Okay, so what do we have here? So let's try to make this quick on my end. So we got winds in New England. They're coming in northern New England. They're coming from the northwest, blowing right between 20 to 30 miles an hour, but just a little higher along the coastal part of Maine, and especially in southern New England. But let's see, we got temperatures throughout the northern part of New England. They're in the low 60s to mid 70s. Well, yeah, but in a few areas, temperatures are just below in the mid to upper 50s. Southern New England, temperatures are in the upper 60s to upper 70s. Upstate New York, temperatures are in the upper 60s to mid 70s. The greater New York City area, temperatures are in the mid 60s to low 70s. South Jersey, Delmarva Peninsula, temperatures are in the mid 70s to mid 80s. Pennsylvania, temperatures are in the upper 60s to upper 70s. Western Maryland and Washington, D.C., temperatures are in the upper 70s to mid 80s. West Virginia, you do have temperatures that are in the 70s to low 80s, and as well as Virginia too. Wind-wise, throughout upstate New York, winds are blowing from the west at up to 30 miles an hour. The greater New York, Long Island, the eastern part of Long Island, winds are moving towards the northeast, blowing at about up to 30 miles an hour, maybe a little higher in a few areas. And Pennsylvania, New Jersey, winds are blowing generally towards the east at up to 25 miles per hour. In the mid-Atlantic, like West Virginia, the Delmarva Peninsula, and the rest of Maryland and Washington, D.C., winds are blowing at no more than 20 miles per hour, generally blowing towards the east, but very light in the coastal part of Virginia. The Carolinas, you do have winds that are mostly light and variable there, but on the coastal part of the Carolinas, winds are moving towards the shores, but they're blowing right around up to 20 miles per hour, maybe a little higher in a few areas, but elsewhere it's quite quite light there. It's mostly light and variable inland. Let me just see the chat. Okay. Temperature-wise, they're in the mid-70s to low 90s. In Georgia, you do have winds that are generally blowing from the northwest at no more than 10 miles per hour, except for the coastal part, in which winds are coming from the sea, and they're blowing up to 20 miles per hour there, with temperatures that are in the 80s to low mid-90s. In Florida, well, in the Atlantic side, winds are blowing onshore up to 20 miles per hour there. On the Gulf side, winds are very light there, though on the Big Bend, just up to 20 miles per hour, blowing onshore. But in the Keys, winds are blowing towards the west-southwest at up to 20 miles per hour, especially in the Keys. Temperatures there are in the 80s to low 90s. Tennessee, for the most part, winds are very light and variable with temperatures in the 80s. Alabama, Mississippi, winds are also very light and variable there, though winds move clockwise towards Georgia. But on the Gulf Coast, winds are blowing onshore, but just very light, though. Temperatures in both Alabama and Mississippi are in the 80s. Arkansas, winds are blowing towards the north-northeast, up to 20 miles per hour. In the northwestern corner of the state, up to 30 miles an hour. Temperatures are in the 80s to low 90s. Louisiana, winds are blowing from the Gulf, for the most part, but in the far southeastern corner of the state, winds are very light and variable there. They're blowing just up to 20-25 miles per hour in the southwestern corner of the state. Temperatures are in the 80s to mid-90s. Texas. In Texas, winds are generally blowing from the Gulf of Mexico, folks. Even in western Texas, despite the fact that they get winds from Mexico, but those winds are actually coming from the Gulf. In the panhandle part of Texas, especially in the central Rio Grande Valley of Texas, like San Angelo and Odessa, winds are blowing at about 40 miles per hour, maybe a little higher in some areas. In the panhandle of Texas, you do have temperatures that are in the 90s, especially western Texas, but just right near the triple digits, the low hundreds. In southern Texas, temperatures are in the mid-80s to upper mid-90s. Eastern Texas, temperatures are in the upper 80s to mid-90s. Northern Texas, northeastern Texas, temperatures are in the 90s. Oklahoma, you get winds that are blowing towards the north-northeast, but the winds are strongest just right in the west-central part of Oklahoma, blowing at around up to 40 miles an hour, maybe a little higher, though, in just about pockets of areas, though, with temperatures that are in the upper 80s to mid-90s. Let's go to the Ohio Valley. Let me see the chat. Kentucky, winds are very light and variable there, but it looks like as though maybe moving towards the east, though, just blowing up to 10 miles per hour there, with temperatures in the upper 70s to mid-80s. Ohio, winds are blowing towards the northeast, and then shifting towards the east, though, with temperatures moving at about up to 20 miles per hour. Temperatures in the mid-70s to low 80s. Indiana, winds are blowing towards the northeast, with the northwestern part of Indiana blowing up to 30 miles an hour. With temperatures that are in the upper 70s to low 80s. Illinois, you get winds that are blowing generally towards the north there. And The winds are blowing up to 30 miles an hour, maybe a little higher in a few areas, particularly in northern Illinois, with temperatures that are in the upper 70s to upper 80s. So we do have Michigan, Michigan, in the lower peninsula of Michigan, winds are blowing towards the northeast, up to 25 to 30 miles an hour, but a little higher along the Lake Michigan shoreline, but just lighter winds in the northern tip of lower Michigan, but shifting towards the northwest, though, with temperatures in the 70s. In the upper peninsula, you do have you do have winds that are blowing towards the north, but in the northern tip of the upper peninsula of Michigan, winds are going back to the south, becoming light and variable there. Winds elsewhere, they're blowing up to 20 miles an hour. Temperatures are in the low 60s to mid 70s. Wisconsin. So for Wisconsin, you do have winds that are generally blowing towards the north, and in the southern and northwestern part of Wisconsin, winds are blowing up to 30 miles an hour. Temperature-wise, they're in the they range from the mid 60s to mid 80s. Let's go to Minnesota, where winds are generally blowing towards the north-northwest, but in the southern two-thirds of Minnesota, winds are blowing up to 30, maybe 30, up to 30 miles an hour there. Temperatures all across the state, they're in the 80s, well, with the exception of Duluth, with temperatures that are at 61 degrees due to the lake breeze. Iowa, winds are generally blowing towards the north, with some areas like the southern part of Iowa blowing at up to 30, 35, or even 40 miles an hour. Temperatures are in the 80s to low hundreds, though. Mid 80s to low hundreds. Missouri, winds are blowing towards the north generally, but in the northern and western parts of Missouri, they're blowing up to 30, up to 40 miles an hour in some areas, just a little lighter in the southeastern part of the state. Southeastern half of the state, I mean. Temperatures are in the 80s to low 90s. What do we got for Kansas? So Kansas, winds are blowing towards the north-northeast at around 30 to 40 miles an hour. Nebraska, winds are generally blowing towards the north, even though the northwestern part of the state, they're blowing towards the northeast, yet they are blowing, well, in the southeastern and northwestern parts of the state, they're blowing up to 40 miles an hour. Elsewhere, just up to 30, but in the southwestern corner of the state, north central part of Nebraska, just blowing up to 10 miles an hour there. Temperatures are in the 90s to mid hundreds. In Nebraska, but Kansas, temperatures are in the 90s there. In the Dakotas, well, look at that. So, South Dakota, you get winds that are coming from the north, shifting towards the west, at around 30 miles an hour, but in southwestern South Dakota, winds are moving up to 40 miles an hour. North Dakota, winds are blowing towards the southwest, but the northeastern corner of the state, they're blowing towards the northwest at about 20 miles an hour, but in much of North Dakota, just blowing up to 30 miles an hour, maybe a little higher in a few areas. Temperatures all across the South Dakota, they're in the 90s to low hundreds. North Dakota, temperatures are in the 70s, the low 70s to upper 80s there. Let's take a look at what's going on in the Northern Rockies. So there's a lot to talk about with winds, folks. Let me see the chat real quick. I hope I'm not missing something. So in the Northern Rockies, so what do we have? So we got converging winds. Okay, so we got areas of low pressure located in southeastern Montana, the southeastern corner, central Montana as well. Yet winds in the eastern part of Montana, northeastern part of Montana, winds are blowing up to 35 miles per hour. Southeastern corner up to 40 miles an hour. In the southwestern corner up to 40 miles an hour as well, but blowing towards the northeast though. Northwestern portion of Montana, winds are blowing up to 25 miles an hour. A little lighter though in other areas, blowing towards the east though. There's a lot to talk about with winds. But temperature wise, they are in, let's see what we got in. Well, temperatures range from the mid 50s to mid 80s. That just depends on where you are in Montana, folks. And even in the mountainous areas, they're a lot colder, though. They're a lot colder. Idaho, you do have winds that are blowing towards the east in the northern part of Idaho. Southern part of Idaho, winds shift from the west towards the northeast, but winds are stronger there near Idaho Falls, just blowing up to 40 miles an hour there. But in the northern part of Idaho, temperatures are in the 50s to low 60s. Southern part of the state, temperatures are in the mid 60s to low 80s. Wyoming, winds are generally blowing towards the northwest in most areas, just light and variable in other areas. In many parts of Wyoming, winds are blowing at about 40 miles an hour, maybe a little higher in a few areas. Temperatures are in the 80s to low 90s there. Let's go to Colorado, Utah, and Nevada, where winds are generally blowing towards the northwest, though. In the northwestern corner of Colorado, they're blowing up to 40 miles an hour, especially in parts of eastern Utah, western Utah, winds are blowing up to 35 miles an hour. Northern part of Nevada up to 35 miles per hour. And what do we have for temperatures in Colorado? They are in the upper 80s to upper 90s. Utah, in the northern half of the state, temperatures are throughout much of the state. They range from 82 in Logan to 100 in St. George. Nevada, you get northern half of Nevada with temperatures that are in the 70s to upper 80s. In southern Nevada, temperatures are in the 90s to low hundreds. Okay, let me see the chat real quick. Nothing much going on. Okay, let's see, for Arizona and New Mexico, winds are mostly blowing towards the northeast though. In northeastern Arizona and northwestern New Mexico, winds are blowing up to 40 miles an hour there. But in southern New Mexico, winds are coming from the south, though. And what do we got for temperatures throughout New Mexico? They're in the 90s. They're in the upper 80s to low hundreds. Alpine is 80 degrees. Northern Arizona, temperatures are in the 80s to upper 90s. Southern Arizona, temperatures are in the triple digits. Let's go to California. Well, offshore winds are blowing parallel mostly along the California coast, particularly in central California. Winds are stronger, just blowing up to 40 to 50 miles per hour, maybe 60 miles an hour. But on the coastal side, winds are blowing at up to 40 miles per hour there, maybe a little higher, especially just north of the Bay Area. And just north of LA, or northeast of LA, winds are blowing up to 40 miles an hour. But winds that are coming on shore, they're blowing towards the Sierra Nevadas and the Mojave Desert right now. But temperature-wise, you got 70 in San Diego, 104 in Indio, 80 in LA, 91 in Bakersfield, 88 in Fresno. Temperatures are in the 70s in the Bay Area, 82 in Sacramento, 80 in Chico, 79 in Redding, and 57 in Eureka. And in the Pacific Northwest, winds are coming from the west, and they're blowing towards the east in general. In the central and eastern Oregon, especially in southeastern Washington State, winds are blowing up to 30 miles an hour there. But a little lighter on the coastal side, though, especially in the Cascades. Temperatures in Oregon, they're in the 50s to mid 60s. In Washington State, temperatures are in the low 60s to low 70s there. Let's talk about gusts. Well, there's stronger gusts in New England and the Adirondacks of New York. They're blowing up to maybe 60, 70 to 80 miles an hour in a few areas. It's quite gusty on the east end of Long Island, and as well as the Catskills and the Finger Lakes region. Well, plenty of strong gusts in Texas and Oklahoma, where winds are blowing up to 60 miles an hour there. In Kansas and Nebraska, blowing up to 80 miles per hour. Let's see what we got in the Rockies. Some places are blowing up to 80, maybe a little close to 100 miles an hour there. It's quite something, folks. Especially in northern Nevada. Sierra Nevada is blowing up to 80 miles per hour there. Now let's talk about humidity. So there's some humidity throughout the interior Northeast near the Great Lakes region, especially parts of the South and Florida, and the upper Mississippi Valley. And there's a lot of humidity in the Northern Rockies in Montana, and as well as the Cascades. All of it because of what's going on with wintry weather there. And what about the rainfall estimates? There's estimated to be about up to an inch of rain in the Big Bend area of Florida. Just up to 2 to 4 inches of rain in the Northern Plains, upper Mississippi Valley. But in terms of if there is any rain, because sometimes there could be snow, freezing rain, sleet, just up to 2 inches of rain there, if there's any. In a way, it could be equivalent to that, like, when converting from snow to rain. The Cascades and the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest, just up to 2 inches of rain there in some areas. All right, and now let's talk about what's going on in the upper levels for the next 3 days. Let me check the chat real quick. Hold on a minute, folks. Hold on a minute. Okay, so let's talk. Okay, actually, I'm going to have a quick sip of water real quick. Okay. Whew. Yeah, I got a quick sip of water. So, what are we looking at here? So, this is what's going on right now, or rather, what's going to be in less than an hour from now. We do have an upper level low that's located in the Pacific Northwest, which indicates a trough there, and especially a trough just north of Maine, and a big ridge just over the mid-Mississippi Valley, and just a little bit of trough over Southern California. Which means that there are lots of active weather in the Rocky Mountains, parts of the Great Basin. Well, not really though. There's in New Mexico, as well as the Northern Plains too. But it's quite stagnant in the south, so nothing much to talk about. I mean, it's plenty of humidity to go around, moisture as well. Yet there is just a little bit of weather in parts of New England, though. As I said earlier. Now let's move on to 24 hours from now. So what do we got? Okay, so a big ridge is going to sit there, and it's going to stay there for days. It's going to be it's a upper level high. It's going to sit there just for days over the Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley, and the Appalachian Mountains. So that means there's going to be a lot of heat to go around the central portion of the country. And yet there's going to be storms just right ahead of, right behind the heat dome that I've already talked about during the last weather topic of the day. There's going to be storms in the Rockies, and especially the Great Basin. Sorry about that. Now we'll go further into that, folks. I thought I heard a mosquito. Now let's move on to Sunday night. So there's going to be a big area of a big ridge area, which means that there's going to be a lot of heat. It's going to take place throughout the central portion of the country, especially parts of the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes region too. So it's going to be very hot, yet there's going to be some storms that could be brewing because of a trough that's going to be over Montana and another one in California. So those storms will stretch from the desert southwest all the way towards the northern Great Plains, right behind the heat dome. Now, what about Monday night? So finally, by Monday night, a big area of a heat dome is still going to be there, but it's going to move slightly towards the east, though, which means that heat spreads east in places like the Southern Plains, mid-Mississippi Valley, the parts of the Great Lakes, and even towards the northeast. It's going to be quite something, folks. Better stay hydrated. So there's going to be a trough that's going to be over California, and another one over Saskatchewan. That's north of Montana, though. And all of it's going to lead to some really bad weather in parts of the Great Basin, Desert Southwest, the Rocky Mountains, the Great Plains, and parts of the Great Lakes region. Now let's transition back to Radar Omega right now. So here you go. So let's go here to the models right now using the NAM. So what do we got for tomorrow morning? So by tomorrow morning, there's going to be a lot of heat for the early morning hours throughout the Mississippi Valley, Great Plains, much of the South, Florida, and especially parts of the East Coast. Yeah, chilly temperatures will occur throughout the northwestern portion of the country, much of the Great Basin, and the northern half of California. Now advancing towards tomorrow night. Look at this. This is a lot of heat to go around in the central third of the country. The desert southwest too. Chilly weather throughout the Rockies and the Cascades, especially the leeward side of the Cascades in Oregon and parts of the Great Basin too in Nevada. Oh yeah, and there's plenty of heat in the southeast too. Now we advance towards Sunday morning. My Sunday morning, there's going to be plenty of warm lows throughout places like the Great Plains, Mississippi Valley, basically all over the East Coast and much of New England too, and a lot of heat for the morning lows in the Great Lakes region. There's going to be very freezing temperatures in some parts of the West, with the exception of the desert Southwest, in which they're going to get mild conditions there, and especially the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest. And let's go into Sunday night. Oh, Sunday night it's going to be very muggy throughout the South, throughout the Central Great Plains, the Mississippi Valley, Great Lakes, especially the Mid-Atlantic, and even parts of the Northeast too, and the desert Southwest as well, and the Central Valley, California. Chilly weather in the Northern Rockies. By Monday morning, there's going to be a lot of warm lows, and it gets worse in the Northeast, the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and the mid to upper Mississippi Valley. It's but in the Ozarks, like right around that part of Arkansas, northern Mississippi, it's almost just about as hot as the Northeast for the morning lows. It's going to get really freezing in the Northern Rockies. And finally, by Monday night, there's going to be a lot of heat to go around throughout the South, throughout the mid-Mississippi Valley, parts of the Great Lakes, much of the Northeast, with the exception of coastal Maine. Yeah, it'll get worse in metropolitan areas like Washington, from Washington to Boston. And plenty of heat in the desert Southwest and the Central Valley, California too. Just a little bit mild in the Northern Plains, Rockies, Northern Rockies too. Let's talk about what's going to happen in terms of humidity. So basically, there's going to be a lot of humidity, excessive humidity just east of the Rockies, though it's going to be not as much in the northern part of New England and the Western Plains. Not much, though. The Mississippi Valley, it's even worse, as much as the South. All because it's gonna make the heat even worse. So you know, folks, it ain't cool, not at all. For tomorrow night, anywhere east of the Rockies, minus northern Maine and the Western Plains, they're going to get excessive moisture, excessive humidity throughout those parts of the country, and it gets worse. And it makes the heat worse in the Mississippi Valley, much of the South, the Great Lakes region. That's gonna be worse than in Arizona. And what about for Sunday morning? So by Sunday morning, east of the Rockies, with the exception of the western, northwestern plains, there's a lot of excessive humidity to go around. It's even worse in the South and even the Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley, and the Great Lakes region. And humidity will start to build up in the Northeast, which will indicate that more hotter temperatures will happen in the next couple of days. Sunday night, so there's going to be a lot of excessive humidity in places like the South, the Northeast, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, Mississippi Valley, and Central Great Plains too. A little buildup of humidity in the Pacific Northwest, but not as much as those on the eastern half of the country. It'll make the heat even worse, turning from upper 80s to mid 90s there in some parts of anywhere that's in the Mississippi Valley or eastward. That's for Sunday night. So by Monday morning, there will be less humidity in the northern plains. Elsewhere, that's east of the Rockies, just a lot of excessive humidity to go around. The Northeast is gonna get a big blast of heat, thus making heat even worse. Temperatures that are gonna be in the 90s will end up making it feel like as though it's becoming hotter than that, in the triple digits. And in metropolitan areas, it's even worse. It'll make it about mid-hundreds to close to 110. Yeah, if some areas are hotter. And finally, on Monday night, there's going to be a lot of... Okay, so there's going to be a cold front that could be moving in towards Texas and the southern plains, and especially in the northern plains, but there's still going to be a lot of humidity to go around. Anywhere just ahead of the cold front or anywhere that is east of the dry line, because there's a lot of humidity along the east coast, much of the lower Mississippi Valley, Ohio Valley, and much of the Great Lakes region. And there is a buildup of humidity throughout much of the west coast, though, in the Pacific Northwest. Now let's go to convection. There's plenty of convection along the Gulf Coast, the southeast, Carolina coast, especially in the Mississippi Valley, northern plains. Just a good amount in the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, northeast, especially in western Texas. By tomorrow night, there is a huge amount of convection in the northern plains, upper Mississippi Valley, parts of the Great Lakes region. That's just right ahead of a cold front that will occur in a matter of a few days, and even some convection throughout parts of the south. This is really awful, folks. Now let's see for Sunday morning. There's going to be a lot of convection in the northern plains, Gulf Coast, good amount throughout the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, the interior south, and just a little bit in the rest of the Great Plains and the East Coast. By Sunday night, there is... yeah, look at that. There's a lot of convection all across places like the upper Mississippi Valley, the entire Great Lakes region, much of the Northeast. Hold on just a minute. Alright, I'm back, so sorry about that. Anyway, there's a lot of convection throughout the Northeast, Great Lakes, upper Mississippi Valley, Ohio Valley, and even just some convection, just standard convection throughout much of the South and the Southern Plains too. Especially just a little bit in the Cascades. By Monday morning, still some convection will be in the Gulf Coast in Florida, but a lot of convection will occur throughout the Northeast, and just a little bit throughout the rest of the South and the rest of the Ohio Valley too. And finally, Monday night, there is a high amount of CAPE all across the Northeast along the I-95 corridor. And the Ohio Valley too, and even the Great Lakes region. It's all because, this cold front that's about to approach, and it'll trigger severe weather in places like the the Mississippi Valley, Ohio Valley in a matter of days. But yet, there is still some good amount of Cape throughout the south, and even a little bit of Cape in the northwestern corner of the country. Now let's go back here and talk about precipitation. So what do we got for precipitation? So tomorrow morning, there's going to be a lot of thunderstorms in the Great Lakes region, scattered showers throughout some parts of the south, plenty of wet weather to go around, and some of them may be in the form of snow throughout throughout Montana and even parts of the Pacific Northwest too. Let's go to tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, some clouds throughout parts of the Northeast, some clouds and showers and a few storms throughout some parts of the South, especially the upper Mississippi Valley, Northern Plains, Dakotas, and especially some storms throughout the northwestern portion of the country. But just some winter weather may occur, like that part of the country too. But on the mountainous side, though, hold on just a minute. All right. And so what about Sunday morning? So by Sunday morning, there is going to be some thunderstorms in parts of New England and upstate New York. Scattered showers and storms all across the south. Clouds and showers in the upper Mississippi Valley, Northern Plains. Plenty of wet weather throughout the Northern Rockies. Maybe some of them may be in the form of snow, scattered showers and clouds. Maybe a few storms in the Pacific Northwest. By Sunday night, some clouds will be in northern New England, especially in some parts of the south, but maybe in a form of a few storms. Hold on. Never mind. Some storms may occur throughout the Dakotas, upper Mississippi Valley, and even some storms will be in the northern Rockies. A few of them may be in the form of snow there, especially in Cheyenne, in the western plains. Some thunderstorms, especially in the southwestern Great Plains region, especially in eastern New Mexico. And then we go on towards Monday morning, where there is going to be some spotty clouds and showers and some storms throughout the south. And a good amount, a lot of clouds and showers and a few storms in the Great Plains, upper Mississippi Valley, and some scattered clouds throughout some parts of the West Coast. All right, and finally, let's go on to Monday night. Monday night, there is going to be clear weather in the northeast. Much of the south will get some scattered showers, clouds, and storms. But there's going to be a lot of storms throughout places like New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, all the way up towards Michigan. So that could potentially lead to severe weather, though. Yeah, on Monday night. So you better gear up for that because, after you deal with a heat wave, there comes severe weather. Clouds and showers and a few storms in the Rockies, some parts of the Great Basin, and some parts of the Pacific Northwest too. Now let's talk about snowfall amounts. So where will the snow occur? That will be located in the Northern Rockies, Idaho, and parts of the Cascades. So that means so how much is where? So just about some places like Glacier National Park, right around to probably 2 to 6 feet of snow in some throughout many parts of the Rockies and Montana. Yet in Idaho, just in the Bitterroot National Forest, just up to 2 feet of snow. Bozeman, just to the south of town, just up to 6 inches of snow. Northwestern Wyoming, especially outside of Yellowstone, up to 6 inches of snow. In the Cascades, up to 2 feet of snow there in Oregon, and up to I would say up to 15 inches of snow in the northern Cascades in Washington State. Well, folks, that's it for now. That's it for the national weather discussion. We will continue playing Minecraft right now. So I know I've spent about an hour and 30. Well, about about an hour and 5 minutes of your time talking about the weather. Because there's so much to talk about and stuff. We'll only play a Minecraft shortly, and we'll get to that right about now. So let's get started on that, folks. Wait, wrong one. Okay, there we go. Certificates. We'll do the weather topic of the day at 8 o'clock. I know this is not a lot of Minecraft time and all, given that it's all craziness that's going on right now. I think this is where we left off, like right around Northwest 60th Street. And now let's move on to right around here. Let's clone this to Northwest 65th Street. Okay. That was a lot of talking about the weather on my end. I mean, I was late to streaming, folks. There we go. So this is Northwest 65th Street. So now let's go on to Northwest 70th Street right now. More background music. Great. All right. Boom. Oh man, now this is at it again now. The mouse is not moving. Are you kidding me? This is the last thing I need. Yeah, too much is happening right now, Can't get a sense of peace and calm. Yeah, today. Hold on just a minute. Yeah, so basically everywhere is corrupt. There we go. What the hell is that? Man, what the hell is that? Okay, so apparently there is an unknown wall that's located right in front of you to the west, you guys. I don't know what is going on, but all I know is that something's not right. Can someone like just give me, or rather, can I at least get something to go my way? Because apparently, hey, it's gone. The white wall is gone. I believe this is Northwest 85th Street, if I'm not mistaken. Ugh, I'm so tired. This is going to be a very, very hot week, because of the heat dome that's going to take place throughout the Northeast. I gotta try to squeeze in for a brief walk outside. I mean, I know, why not just stream? Well, the truth is, folks, as much as I enjoy streaming for you guys, it's time that I focus on my own well-being. Gotta get some fresh air before fresh air gets too hot for my liking. Or rather, it becomes less fresh, the air. Oh, boy. Yes, yeah, I'm about to enter Northwest 95th Street. Northwest 95th Street, baby. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be very, very hot. And humid, too. Oh, man, more obnoxious people out here. I'm gonna talk over right now. There we go. Don't tell me that I still gotta do my thing. Great. That's just great. That's just great. Oh boy. So I believe this is northwest. Yeah, this is northwest 90th Street, I believe. Oh, more background music. That's just great. Yeah, everybody's becoming very, very lively tonight. Getting ready for Northwest 100th Street. Whew. It's quite a journey, folks. It's quite a journey so far. It's quite a journey it was. So anyway, how you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. For those of you just tuning in, my name's Marlon. This is episode 45 of Mushroom City in Minecraft. Make that mostly weather than Minecraft. All because, well, I was delayed because I had, last minute stuff to do. I mean, really. What the hell is that? Wait, what is this? Okay, something's definitely not right here. I feel like this is more of a repeat. I don't know why is this here. Oh boy, I'm dealing with something a little more serious for a game. So very serious. Okay, the sun is rising right now in the city. It's quite sickening. Okay, we did it, yay. I don't know if that's 100th Street. I have to check. Could be off, folks. I could be off. Oh, man. It was rough, folks. It was real rough. It was super rough. Yep, this is it. Oh, but except somehow things are not looking right. Yeah, this is definitely West 100th Street. Now that I've managed to get as far as there, now the thing is that I gotta figure out what can I do about. Let me see. Let me try to think. Hmm. Oh God. Oh man. Super tired. Yeah, I think I can hear background music right now. Hold on. Alright, I'm back, so sorry about that. Yeah, it's ridiculous background noise that we're dealing with right now. Just need to keep on going right now. Alright, now let's see what we got. I hope that's as far as we can go, I think. If not, yeah, that is as far as we can go. Alright. So, what does this mean? So, we can, well, we might as well just go ahead and just label, or rather, create marks for here. Alright, that represents 65th. Northwest 65th Avenue. Then we'll go down to Northwest 60th Avenue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, 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 good. All right, excellent. It's raining right now in the city. Boy, that is something, right? There we go. Let's create, start off with Northwest 55th Avenue. It's the white lines again, the white walls. There we go. Next up, Northwest 50th Avenue. You got 2 more minutes of playing this game, and then we'll transition to the weather topic of the day. Oh boy, this. Oh. Yeah, for a moment there, yeah, I thought it was gonna thunder. Alright. Yeah, so the sun is setting right now. Go. Let's just leave it as Northwest 50th Avenue. Okay. Alright, now let's transition back to Radar Omega right now, where we're going to talk about the weather topic of the day. But before we do that, just need a quick sip of water, folks. Oh man, more background music. Yeah, too bad I don't have the power to, to make change, Yeah, but right now, gotta come up with the weather topic of the day. Okay, so here it is. The weather topic of the day is: what is the difference between a heat advisory and an extreme heat warning? Or heat warning. A heat advisory is issued when dangerous heat conditions are expected, while a heat warning, also called an excessive heat warning or extreme heat warning, is issued for extremely dangerous heat conditions. Heat warnings are issued when conditions are expected to be significantly more dangerous than those described in a heat advisory. For example, a heat advisory may be issued when heat indices reach 100 to 105 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas a heat warning may be issued when heat indices reach at least 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So, folks, that's it for the weather topic of the day. Oh, and I'm also getting I'm also getting something with one tornado warning right now, and that's in South Dakota. So let's go check that out, folks. So let's see where that tornado warning is. Oh, it's South Dakota, northwestern South Dakota near Buffalo, South Dakota. So let's go to the single site radar right now. And where is that? Right around here. I don't know if I want to call this a hook echo right now, but let me just turn on the radio velocity. Nothing too impressive, folks, I would say, for the most part. But this right here is a better friend to have. So from what it looks like, there is a tornado right around just north of Buffalo right now. And let me see the radar reflectivity radar. Okay, this is much better. This is much better. Okay, so there's a hook echo right there. And where is... okay, so where's the damage? Damage could be right around here. Or right around here. That indicates foreign objects whenever it's blue, but highly doubtful though. Okay, so I see that it's moving in that direction, but just to verify, let's just go ahead and play the radar real quick. Okay, you're seeing it, folks. Yep. It's moving towards the east. Which means that it's going to be a bad night for folks just living right around the north side of Buffalo at South Dakota. Stay safe out there. Okay, so now let's turn back here. You know, I think I think it'll be much better for me to mention something about excessive heat warnings and stuff. Yeah, I think that's better. I might as well just repeat myself anyway. A heat advisory is issued when dangerous heat conditions are expected, while a heat warning also code. So sorry about that. A heat advisory is issued when dangerous heat conditions are expected, while a heat warning, also called an excessive heat warning or extreme heat warning, is issued for extremely dangerous heat conditions. Heat warnings are issued when conditions are expected to be significantly more dangerous than those described in a heat advisory. For example, a heat advisory may be issued when heat indices reach between 100 and 105 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas a heat warning may be issued when heat indices reach or exceed 105 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, folks, that's it for the weather topic of the day, and I know I may have repeated myself. But I'll repeat it again, like just to make things better. A heat advisory is issued when dangerous heat conditions are expected, while a heat warning, also called an excessive heat warning or extreme heat warning, is issued for extremely dangerous heat conditions. Heat warnings are issued when conditions are expected to be significantly more dangerous than those described in a heat advisory. For example, a heat advisory may be issued when heat indices reach between 100 to 105 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas a heat warning may be issued when heat indices reach or exceed 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, that's a lot better, even though there was one mistake, but anyway, I'm not going to bother doing that. So anyway, take care, you guys. Stay safe out there, stay hydrated, and for those in northwestern Montana, stay warm. But until then, I will see you guys tomorrow. But since I won't have the car tomorrow, well, there's maybe a chance that I could stream for you guys probably at 1 to 3 p.m., another one at 6 to 8 p.m. But we'll play Kingdom Hearts, so you know, folks. But however, I could change the schedule up, so you better keep in mind about that. But the best way to know when you'll be streaming the next time is by following me on Twitch and turn on the notifications afterwards so that you guys will know I'll be streaming by then. I know it may be unpredictable the way I'm saying things, but anyway, tomorrow's my birthday, so anything can happen, actually. So I will stream for you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I'll stream for you guys multiple times. Alright, so better buckle up. If I'm not there 1 to 3 p.m., maybe 6 to 8 p.m., but who knows? I mean, I will know, but right now I don't. But let's just say that I'll keep you guys in the loop in the meantime. But anyway, take care, you guys. Stay safe out there. Stay hydrated for those under heat advisories and heat warnings. And stay warm for those who are under winter storm warnings and high wind warnings. Peace out, everybody. Love y'all. Signing out.